Gosh, I'd like to thank you so much for becoming a patron of mine and supporting my work and my art. And because you're a patron, I'd like to give you a glimpse of the undisclosed location, which is about my favorite place in the world, where I do a lot of my work. And if you're a fan of Curious George, you're going to know where this next impulse comes from. As there I am as a young lad. I'm going to take you in and you're going to experience the primordial, prehistoric, bathroom, jungle, dinosaur realm. And we see the sign. We're immediately confronted by a sign that says 2-hour limit grotto jungle, and then beware of the moose, which didn't quite get finished. This jungle bathroom was started almost 40 years ago and has been painted and repainted by nieces and nephews and myself and neglected over the years. I could do a much better job if I did it today, but some of that's one of the original creatures. Look at that. A little warthog, and he's looking at some kind of strange dripping fruit. Then there's a lovely flower there, and as we look up, another parrot, and then the mountains. Oh, the lovely mountainous range that we see. Wild-looking, strange mountains. Another waterfall there, and mountains, and then a tree sprouting basically from nowhere. We look around and we see more mountains, and oh, there's a volcano, a wild, untamed volcano spewing lava around. And there's the remnants of a moose who's been painted over, sadly, but below the volcano you see a coconut tree, and the coconuts have been artfully rendered so they almost seem three-dimensional. And below the coconut tree, there he is, our first dinosaur, snoozing away. The lovely Stegosaurus, asleep on the commode. And as we follow his scales down, we see that we didn't spend as much attention on the lower ones, but there's his spiny tail, which is really a piece of work as far as I'm concerned. And there are some lovely bamboo trees that Emma rendered. And here, whoa, look at that. There's a little creature staring at us from a hole in the tree. That was done by my niece, Allie. And here we have the jungle shower curtain with the palm fronds. As you can see, it fits perfectly, themed with the room. And we, dun, 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 we see what's called the forgiving tree. I painted this tree artfully, three-dimensionally, and I chose to write forgive underneath for some charitable reason. And as I step into the bathtub, we look over here. This is one of my favorite parts. Not the artfully rendered windows, which have a beautiful luminescence behind them, but as you can see, we have collected a lovely collection of animals, wild animals. And I think this is such a nice touch, whoa, for this bathroom. There they seem to be. That one's sleeping, I think. There's a lion, another sleeping cow, and there's somebody else from the Jungle Book, and it's just, oh, and a tree. And there's my favorite, a little polar bear, and he's sleeping. And as we move up from the disgusting bathtub, which really needs to be cleaned, but will be when we open it for the summer, we see a winding river, kind of like Heart of Darkness, a river that winds up past the waterfall into the deepest, darkest Africa. And this bathroom was inspired somewhat by the Jungle River Cruise. Yes, it was. And now, as we prepare to leave the bathroom, we say goodbye to all the creatures, and we begin to walk out, and we see a lovely butterfly that was rendered by Emma, and some lovely vines that Dylan did. But there, on the ground below us, we notice there's a fierce Triceratops. Look how fierce he is, and he's looking at something. What could he be looking at? He's pointing at it almost. He seems to be pointing at a little bear. And the little bear is looking at something. What is the little bear looking at? The little bear is looking at a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex, a T-Rex who is menacing him. And as we get closer to the T-Rex and he turns and sees us, and forgets about the bear and begins to approach us, we realize that our time is up as we look our death in the eye and we become acutely aware of the chewing teeth and the strong, clamping, crunching jaws as we are eaten by the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Well, gosh, I'd like to thank you so much for being a patron of mine and supporting my art, and I really do hope you enjoyed this brief but memorable trip through the primordial dinosaur jungle.